Thank you. Ready? 1, 2, go.
We're going to do a presentation of the spinal cord, the spinal nerves, and the plexuses that emanate from the braiding or networking of the spinal nerves. This is prepared as a coronal section where the abdominal, the thoracic, and the abdominal pelvic viscera are removed. The bodies of the vertebrae have removed to let us look into the vertebral foramen, and we can see coming out the intervertebral foramen on either side the pairs of the spinal nerves. We understand that as we exit the foramen magnum superiorly until we get to the end of the spinal cord at lumbar 1, lumbar 2, that the end of the spinal cord is a tapered. My analogy would be that it would be similar to the tip of a sugar ice cream cone, the tip end. In that distance of 16 to 18 inches, we're looking at 31 pairs of spinal nerves. Now, of the 31 pairs of spinal nerves, only the intercostal nerves beneath each rib are not part of a plexus. All others are in plexuses, cervical here at the top and neck region of the vertebral column, at the entry point into the upper extremity or appendage, your arm, we have the brachial plexus. Below these that aren't part of a plexus, the intercostals, we're going to take and get into the lumbar plexus, below that the sacral plexus. Now please be aware that because the spinal cord ended between L1 and L2, and we have tremendous amount of body left below that point, that there is a whole collection of nerve fibers that descend inferiorly and are referred to as the cauda equina, the horse's tail. So clinically, formally entering the spinal cord with this central gray matter and peripheral white matter, you could introduce in an intervertebral space through a disc, you could enter into the dural sac among these nerves of the cauda equina and take and aspirate cerebrospinal fluid or introduce a medium for imaging purposes, and that would allow no damage. Typically, a special bevel needle will cause these to roll off the needle tip, and we can work with that fluid, or we can by putting something in or taking something out. But you have to do it below L1, L2. So 2, 3, 4, 5, we would be able to do that clinical procedure. Now, if we go back up superiorly, we see this interplay of nerve parts, the braiding, the weaving, and out of this cervical plexus, we're taking and looking at the phrenic nerve. The phrenic nerve will descend to where it can, at the level of T12, innervate the breathing muscle that is going to take and be the diaphragm. So if a neck is broken above where this exit point is, a person would die of asphyxiation. If the spinal cord was broken below that point, the person would be a paraplegic and have those enormous challenges, but they would be able to still breathe. A critical inch of difference in that vicinity. Okay, in the brachial plexus, please be aware that as you exit through intervertebral foramina, you number nerves. They braid or plexus, and you exit and you name the nerve. So you leave the spinal cord as a number, come out of the plexus as a named nerve. So if you are on the thumb side of the forearm, in parallel with the radial bone, you are a radial nerve. If you're on the little finger side of the forearm with the ulnar bone, you follow that with an ulnar nerve. If you're in between them, you would have a medial nerve. So I want to give you some idea of a few nerves that are taking and are in the periphery of the body away from the plexus. If you move down to the lumbar plexus, you can observe again how nerves are coming out and parts are mixing from above to below, or below to above, and forming this plexus. On your information packets, you see a listing of one nerve of this plexus that is the largest, and you see that is going to take and be the femoral nerve. You move down into the primary curve of the sacrum, and you see the further joining together and plexusing, networking of the nerves. Largest nerve of your body, pointed out here and bilaterally over here, is the sciatic nerve, and the sciatic nerve at a level as we go below your knee because of the presence of the two bones, the tibia and the fibula, you're going to take and have a tibial nerve, and you're going to have a peroneal or fibular nerve. Okay, the last comment I would like to make about this model is it shows a very nice psoas major muscle. It shows a very nice iliacus muscle filling the iliac fossa. So we have our iliopsoas group that we know is so much a powerful flexor of the thigh, and with its ultimate insertion on the lesser trochanter. And again, notice the relative position of this femoral nerve when you put the psoas major in its normal position. Thank you.